Today we're going to be talking about how to write a cover letter that sells. Why is a cover letter so important? Number one, it customizes your approach to each individual organization that you're applying with. Two, it connects your abilities to their needs, so it gives you this opportunity to show how your experiences fit with what they're looking for. It showcases important resume details, and more than that, it allows you the opportunity to provide context for the information that's on your resume. So if there is a problem on your resume, if you are applying for a position that is below what people would expect given your experience ability, or above what people would expect given your experience ability, use your cover letter to address that. Why are you applying for this position, even if it isn't a perfect match for your experience? If you don't have experience in the exact same industry or type of job that you're applying for, you can address that in your cover letter and make an argument for why you are qualified for this position, even though your experience doesn't perfectly match up. And then lastly, if you have a really strong connection to the organization, like for example, I had a student last year who was applying to a video game developer in San Francisco, and she loved their games, and she'd been playing their video games since she was a kid, and she was like incredibly passionate about not just getting a job in the video game industry, but working for this organization. You can put that in your cover letter as well. You pass an employer's important screening step. You demonstrate your writing skills. So again, like we talked about with your resume, it's not just the content of your resume and your cover letter that are so important. It's also the format, the grammar, the spelling, not having any typos, because this isn't just the information that you're communicating through your cover letter. It's also demonstrating that you can write well, that you have the ability to be a clear communicator. It's a work sample that employees appreciate. And then finally, establish commonality with the employer. You want to format your cover letter for visual appeal and ease of reading. So just like we do with memos, there aren't any action headers here on the picture that I posted, but you do want to use action headers on your cover letter and just make it skimmable and good balance of white space and text like we always do when we do memos. Your contact info should go on the top, the date, the contact info of the person you're applying to. I know it seems weird to include this. I think there's a couple reasons for it. One is I think back in the day when they used to like physically mail these in, if the envelope got torn or ruined somehow, then you could still see the address on the letter, so it might still get delivered. The other reason is this just leaves a really clear record of who was applying and who you were applying to. Have a salutation, an introduction, a body paragraph where you flesh out your experience, a conclusion where you thank the reader, and then include a closing and a signature as well. All right, so this is what a cover letter should look like. You'll notice you got your contact information at the top, just like we did with resumes. I was talking to Courtney, and she said you don't need to include your physical address on your contact information anymore if it makes you feel uncomfortable. Most people don't really mail stuff anymore. Also, once you put your cell phone number on a resume or a cover letter, expect to get phone calls from potential employers. So make sure that you have a professional voicemail set up, that if you get a call from an unidentified number, you only pick it up if you're in a situation where you can speak professionally. As I said, include the contact information of the person that you are writing to. You want to include their name, their official title, like club controller, the official name of the organization, and then the address as well. Your opening paragraph should include the position you're applying for, where you heard of the position, and the name of any referring party. This is what an introductory paragraph should look like. Notice that the student immediately starts out by saying which position she is applying for, the organization where she's applying, and where they heard about it. You want to include where you heard about it because that's important information for the employer to know where their recruitment efforts are being successful. If you have a recommendation, you can put that in the introductory paragraph right off the bat. Of course, only include the recommendation if it's someone that you trust and respect and that you have reason to believe that the organization trusts and respects. You don't want to associate yourself with someone who, is not dependable or who doesn't come into work on time or they're not happy with. Include a short, just a one-sentence summary of your most valuable skill that makes you, or your most valuable experiences that make you competitive for this position. And then finally, your first action header is really important, right? That may be the only sentence they read. So that first action header should include the position you're applying for, the organization you're applying for, and again, just a really quick blurb of why you're qualified for this position. So this person wrote, years of hospitality service qualify me for the bartender position at Oakmont Club. If I am a hiring manager and I just read this one sentence, I see, oh, okay, cool. This isn't someone just applying and they don't have any experience. This person has years of experience in this position. The body of the letter should match your qualifications to the needs of the organization. You should highlight applicable qualities and skills, demonstrate achievement, and sell yourself. So here is a couple of good body paragraphs where, again, we're using action headers that explicitly tie the person's experience to what the organization needs. You can use bullet points to summarize, to kind of reiterate some of the most valuable experiences from your resume, to highlight those. Don't make it all bullet points. You've already put this information on your resume, so I really wouldn't say more than 3 bullet points because you don't want to be too redundant. Use this as an opportunity to kind of provide a little more context for the bullet points that are on your resume and shaping them specifically to what the organization is looking for. The other thing you can do, this is the last body paragraph of the example cover letter that I'm showing you here. And I like when students do this, when they link this job to kind of their ultimate ambition or what they're trying to accomplish. So this person says, hey, I want to work at a bar because I hope to own a restaurant and bar one day. And I like that because it shows ambition, it shows drive, it shows that you're interested in this position not just because you need a job, not just because you need money, but because this position is going to help you achieve your long-term goals. And what that says to me as a potential employer is that this is someone who's really going to invest in and devote themselves to learning, gaining skills, and getting good at their job, because it's not just about the paycheck, it's about their long-term goals. So you don't have to put this, but I really encourage you to try to link the position you're applying for the goals that you hope to accomplish one day. Your conclusion should thank the reader, offer to provide additional information, include an appropriate close, and close with action. So concluding paragraphs and cover letters are pretty formulaic. So basically just thank you for your time and consideration, and say something about I look forward to hearing from you, or I hope we get an opportunity to meet in person, something like that, where you're pushing the next stage of the application process. Obviously you don't want to be arrogant or presumptuous, but you do want to make it seem as if you are eager and confident that you're going to make it to the next stage of the process.